is the setting of our broadcast today. It's NBA basketball on 2K Sports. We're glad you could join us on this exciting Friday night matchup. Hello, everyone. With Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan. We'll be hearing from our Hall of Famer on the sideline, David Aldridge. DA, it's
Kevin, thanks. Well,
thanks, David. Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. Taking a look at Phoenix. Things going their way so far in this season. Right now, they lead the pack up front in the first spot with the best record.
Well, right now for the Suns, they have caught the entire league off guard. This was not a position anyone thought they'd be in at this stage of the season.
They had a plan coming into the year. I mean, they stuck to it, and it's worked to perfection.
So the opening lineup for the Suns. Booker and Bridges are the wings. Jay Crowder out there with DeAndre Ayton. And it's Paul in at the 1 spot. And for the Pistons, we've got Josh Jackson. Plumlee out there with Griffin. Then there's Hayes. And it's Grant in at the small forward position. Greg, obviously, we're early on here. We already have seen some second-year players looking much more improved over their rookie year.
I mean, if you put in the work, you're not guessing as much. And listen, the fact that you've now gone through the season, you've got a better sense of who you are and what you can do out on the floor. I know I cut way back on my turnovers at the start of my second year, and you go into the offseason with specific goals and areas where you want to improve.
You think there's more growth between your first and second year than any other 2 years in your career?
You could make that case, no doubt about it, because you're still thinking you could be one of the all-time greats no matter who you are at that stage, and so you tend to put in a little more emphasis in terms of improvement.
Griffin unable to get that one. Good work defensively by Crowder. Pulls up on the wing, kept alive, Ayton, and Ayton throws it down.
And using that 7'5" wingspan, putting it back off the miss, one of Ayton's specialties.
Here's Bridges, and it's slammed in by Bridges.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
And it's slammed in by Bridges.
And credit Crowder with his activity disrupting the play. He got them out running that time.
What you love about Crowder, he gives you a little bit of everything at both ends.
I mean, defensively, he'll take on anybody. He's smart, draws a lot of charges. Offensively, he can stretch the floor, and he'll make the extra pass. He's also an opportunistic rebounder.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. And going against Phoenix, their first meeting of the season.
And with this matchup being an East versus West affair, it'll be the first of only 2 meetings between the teams.
Yeah, should be a fun game to watch. I mean, 2 teams that don't see each other that much. They'll learn a lot about each other tonight.
And that's an important basket there. The game was in danger of getting away from them here early if they let that run go on much longer.
Paul looking around. High, arcing shot, and it's good on the layup. Paul's got 6.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
And Hayes kicks to Plumlee. There's Jackson with the 3. Crowder pulls it in.
Not the most productive quarter he'll ever have, but his shot selection's been a little bit dubious.
The Pistons have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. And Hayes throws it down.
Puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on you.
And guys, it's clear, though, he enjoys showing off his athleticism. The D can't give him these opportunities.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Hayes dishes to Griffin. Grant the pass to Jackson. Back to Grant. Pass to Griffin. Shoots over Crowder. Griffin's shot is off.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
Here's Booker, and he converts the layup.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
They've come out of the gate strong at both ends of the floor, just in total control so far.
Shoots the three. Sinks the triple.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from three. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Pass to Bridges. Booker in the corner. From 15 feet away, that shot off. And Detroit the other way now. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
Yeah, tough.
Nice. Hardest in the air. I mean, the elevation, the hang time, the strength of Griffin. It's amazing.
Suns leading by 9. And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
And after that game, it was impressive to look at the box score and see the work they did at the free throw line.
Yeah, there were two things in play there. They had a huge advantage in free throw attempts, and as a unit, they shot the lights out of it.
And the Pistons, entirely new group now out there.
And taking a look here at the numbers for Derrick Rose. Last year, getting it done. Last season, he averaged 18 points a game, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. And he does so much for this team, but it starts with the way he leads the offense.
Yeah, he's willing to take on the scoring load, and he's more than capable of delivering.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
From deep, Rose. It's hauled in by the Suns. Payne looking around to the paint. Here's Saric, and slam dunk by Saric.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
Well, you think defensively that you're trying to pack in the lane. I mean, that opens up some opportunities for their shooters.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
And Saric kicks to Galloway. Pass to Payne. Lets it go from deep. It's going to be out of bounds. The Suns will retain possession. Okafor with the steal. And now Rose running the floor all by himself. And Rose throws it down.
I mean, even through all the injuries, Rose has the speed to beat you in transition.
58 seconds left in the first. Now here's Payne, guarded by Wright. Now here's Payne. 6 on the shot clock. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Out of bounds, it'll go to the Suns.
And this has been a comedy of errors. I mean, you can just add another one to the list.
Carter, he's checked in for Langston Galloway. Saric outside. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Three-pointer right. Saric grabs the board. Here is Carter, and he's going up for the alley-oop, and Jones slams it in.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, they've been very aggressive, and they've taken early control of this game.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
They needed that, and I love that he just didn't settle for the lay-in.
A big-time effort. And if you're wondering whether players watch the standings,
one thing we have to do is stop comparing ourselves.
You know, Greg, he makes a great point. Even when you have mostly the same guys, every season is different.
And if you're a coach, it'll give you gray hair trying to preach that to your players. Many guys don't believe it until they're in it and then have to dig themselves out of a hole.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And guys, the Suns enjoying a nice lead here.
Well, one way to generate more offense, pound the offensive glass. That was the difference in the first.
Yeah, they're clawing, they're grinding, doing anything they could to make the most of their possessions.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for the Suns, Johnson and Saric are the 3 and the 4. Carter out there with Payne, and it's Jones in at center. Yep, it goes in, and the Suns' lead is cut down to 10 in the bucket from Derrick Rose. Carter against Rose. Here's Jones. Yep, that one goes in there. Jones has got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Yeah, they're pouring it on right here, trying to give the opposition no light at the end of the tunnel.
It's Payne with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Phoenix Suns. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Jones, the pass to Johnson. Here is Carter. This one for 3. It's good from long range.
Timeout.
Carter's got himself on the board with 3 there. And looking back at what was a stellar career, Greg, if there was one thing you could have done differently, do you have anything on your mind?
You know, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to finish my career in New York. That was a special place, a special time. Unfortunately, that didn't transpire, but that's the one thing that stands out. That and obviously not winning the championship.
I can understand both of them.
Yes.
And the Suns with a completely new group on the floor. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, Blake Griffin had 2 more knee surgeries last season. Pistons coach Dwayne Casey said that the year before, they rode him like a cheap horse, in Casey's words, to make the playoffs. Griffin acknowledged his load may need managing down the road, saying, "I'm a believer in science. I'm going to listen to them and let them lead the way." Guys?
Smart perspective. David, thank you.
And Blake Griffin, the combination of power and agility, that guy is a handful inside.
Yes, yeah, he can finish with either hand. He favors that right block, and he's got an array of moves down there. Yes.
And Hayes kicks to Griffin. Grant the pass to Plumlee. That cuts the lead to single digits.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Right against Paul. Trying to get open is Crowder. And yes, it's good. Paul's got 10 points.
His energy level has never dropped in this game. I mean, he's working his tail off. And the D is struggling to keep up.
Suns leading by 11. To the inside. And Grant sends it back. The pass to Wright. He can't get that one. Paul with the defensive effort. Suns have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Here's Booker. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Ayton. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Right, the pass to Plumlee. Here's Griffin. They get it back. Phoenix has gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That's his first foul. Booker with it. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against Toronto.
He's lucky his teammates have picked up the slack for him. I mean, his shooting has been horrific.
Right. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
The Pistons shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. And the Pistons making a change here. Jackson's checked in. Free throw drops for Wright. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. To the middle. Here's Ayton. Makes it off the glass. 7 points for DeAndre Ayton.
And this is where Ayton does the most damage. Inside, feels like he can score on anyone.
Here's Griffin. Plumlee trying to break loose. And the shot is good. The Phoenix lead has been cut back down to 8. Those were necessary points from Griffin. The Suns have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Ball against Wright. Here's Ayton. Score the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
I love to see the defense exhibit some passion in protecting the rim right there.
Here's Bridges. Score it. His 3rd straight basket in 3 tries.
Some great awareness being shown by Crowder. Spotted the open man and made a fantastic dish.
Right side Jackson. Over Booker. And too long on the shot.
Setup's good. That's the shot they're looking for, but you can't get them all to go.
Goes up on the wing. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Great communication on the alley-oop.
And you like to see Jackson with the daylight there not hesitate to pull the trigger. He's a solid scorer who's starting to feel comfortable from that area.
Out to the right wing. And Ayton gets double teamed. Looks for Paul. Hits it to him. And the rejection by Jackson. And he gets it to go.
Timeout.
Bridges has got 8.
Exceptional instincts from the clever guard, Paul. I mean, reading the D, making the right pass.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
Definitely not pleased with their rebounding at the defensive end. The number of putbacks they've allowed has been terrible. I'm sure that's what he's going to address during this timeout.
Jackson passes to Rose. Okafor with the ball. For the 3. And there's Derrick Rose on the assist by Okafor. 8 points for him.
That's his second three-pointer of this quarter after not getting any in the first.
Carter looking around. 52 seconds left in the first half, and a missed layup. Here's Jackson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Jackson's got 4 points this quarter.
And how about just the sheer determination that Jackson brings? You can hit him, but he doesn't cave. He just stays with it.
Galloway. Back to Jones. Stolen by Dumboya. Pass break Detroit. Here's Mikhailu. It's hauled in by the Suns. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points.
And this has been an outstanding display on the boards, and it's a big part of why they have a lead in this game, doing the dirty work down low.
Here's Sharch. That one falls, coming off Carter's feet. Carter's got his 3rd assist on the night. There's Rose with the 3. And so it's the Phoenix Suns in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So
Thanks, Kevin. Dwayne, good shooting from your guys in the first half, but still trailing. What's the focus going forward?
We're in the game offensively, but offensively is not an issue.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie. Chris Paul had a huge first quarter. He had 10 points. And you look at the Phoenix Suns, a long playoff absence, but showing some progress, aren't they, Shaq?
Yeah, young team. They're still going to have some bad games. But, Ernie, Kenny, you expect them to get better over time.
I agree. With Booker and Ayton, I'm trying to think what else they would need, what other pieces to build around them.
And that'll do it for us. The third quarter about to begin with Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll catch you on the flip side, my brother.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. You look at Chris Paul. What a contribution.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
Yeah, the offense looks crisp, and guys are hitting their shots.
Griffin is out there with Plumlee. Then there's Jackson. Then there's Grant. And it's Hayes in at the point. That's the group for Detroit right now. And so it's Crowder with it. He'll bring it up for the Phoenix Suns. They have a 9-point lead.
Sweet find there by Booker. All eyes on him with the ball, and Devin understands that. That has a nice feel for giving up the rock.
Griffin trying to get open. They get the rebound.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And, well, Detroit shooting with confidence, 50% from the field so far.
And basketball in the blood for Devin Booker. I mean, his father, Melvin, started at the University of Missouri and played pro ball. Started in high school. Devin trained with his father, trying to follow his path.
The shot's good from Paul.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Here's Jackson. Good. Nice job down low. Jackson's got 9 points. And we know the story. Booker moving from Michigan to Mississippi to live with his father and develop his skills.
And 4:30 a.m. alarms to train on the beach before the summer sun, getting to practice 2 hours early and staying late. Booker, not a freak athlete, so he had to work harder and drill the fundamentals.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
The Pistons shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And talking about last season, this team hit just 74% of their free throws. I'm sure they were hoping for better than that.
You know, when you look at the balance of power between players and teams, Greg, does it feel like the players now have more say, more control than they used to?
No doubt. We're seeing more players demand trades, sign shorter contracts with opt-outs. And the irony of that is, in my era, our best players were fearful for the length of their contracts or the life expectancy of their careers, believe it or not. And these guys today, they understand their value. They know what they bring to the table, and they are utilizing that to the max.
And is that good, Greg, for the game?
I think so. I do think most guys want to win, and they understand that their legacies are going to be defined about whether or not they do.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thank you. Now, we have seen continued growth with the NBA's affiliated leagues the last few years. Think about the explosion in popularity of the WNBA, the Basketball Africa League, expansion of the 2K League, greater pay in the WNBA, and the G League pathway, along with the unionization of G League players. The league continues to show its commitment to expanding opportunities on multiple levels. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, David. Okafor is checked in for Plumlee. And the Suns also making a change. Payne's checked in. And I'm glad we got to see the Mobile One block once more. What a play.
And that'll give them a jolt. Nothing like a rejection to light a fire under you.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Kicks it to Booker. Out to the wing. And the dunk by Booker.
Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
Well, the results are clear as day. Great approach coming into the third quarter. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Griffin's shot is off, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jahlil Okafor. That's his first foul. A different look here for Detroit. Mykhailiuk is checked in, and it's Rose in for Hayes. Sharch checked in for the Suns. Johnson comes in for Bridges. Suns leading by 18. Booker up top. He's covered by Rose. That one drops for him.
And this offense is in a perfect rhythm, and you can see how they're finishing their plays.
Yeah, right now, it feels like they can't miss. We'll see how long they can make this last.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
And Phoenix making a change here. Jones is checked in. The Pistons shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight.
And when he first came into the league, Blake Griffin's dunking made headlines. And while I'm sure he enjoyed that, he was also eager to show that there was more to his game.
And they need those kind of plays right now. Smart defense that generates some more.
Now Payne. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Sharge inside. Griffin on him. The shot by Sharge, no good. And you know, Greg, in the past, Griffin felt at times criticized as being a one-dimensional player.
I tell you, Kevin, I think he's answered those critics. You look at his passing and his development as a shooter, one of the more complete offensive players in the league.
Hits the three-point bomb. Sharge has got 9 points.
Really improving this part of his game. When Saric is dialed in from deep, it helps so much.
Luke passes to Griffin. That shot missing. And Phoenix the other way now. Following this game, they'll hit the road to challenge the Pacers at Pacers Arena in Indianapolis. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
White dishes to Griffin. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Offensive arsenal of Griffin. So dangerous, especially when it seems he can't miss from anywhere.
It's Payne with the ball. He'll bring it up for Phoenix. It's an 18-point game. And the Suns call time here. Phoenix making some changes. Langston Galloway comes in for Damian Jones. And it's Carter in for Booker. Galloway finds Payne. Crafty move. Trying to get open is Johnson. And it's finished off by Payne as he lays it in. Payne's got 4 points this quarter. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
Without question. They're giving up too many high percentage looks, a trend that they'd like to reverse.
Jackson, he's checked in for Detroit. Here's Griffin. Okafor trying to get open. And he uses the glass on the layup. Griffin's got 9 points here in the second half. Pass to Payne. There's a minute left in the third quarter. Over Rose. Misses off the right iron. Pistons trailed by 18. It's Jackson with the drive. And that one, good. 11 points in the game.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
There's Galloway. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Doesn't go that time. Here's Rose. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a three-point play.
Oh, man, he'll find a way to milk every point possible out of every possession. And if that means Rose has to get physical, he'll do it.
Catching up on the changes for Phoenix. Jay Crowder's checked in for Carter. And it's Paul in for Payne. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. That's a 2 from Paul. That one off the back iron and out. For Detroit, they've gone 8 of 14 on their shot attempts here in the third. Some pretty nice work and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And there's the foul against Phoenix.
And Jackson with the quick first step there, when he's taken off towards the rim, he really does force the defense to have to try to foul him.
The free throw drops for Jackson. Jackson hits both of them.
Yeah, and the versatility of Jackson's game. He's a super confident kid who certainly has the potential to be a star.
Paul passes to Saric, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got 4 assists in the game. On its way from Rose for 2. Misses there. And so it's the Phoenix Suns. 13 points up at the end of the period. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
How about the unselfishness? Night in and night out, we see guys trying to force their own agenda. Not that time.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. On the court for the Suns, we've got Johnson, Jay Crowder out there with Ayton. Then it's Chris Paul, and it's Galloway at the 2 spot.
This is the game you hope Rose has every night, shooting with tremendous confidence.
Phoenix leading by 11. Paul passes to Ayton. Lobs it up for Crowder, and Crowder slams it in.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Grant finds Rose. Pistons passing it around. Misses from short range. Well, Phoenix shooting is beautiful right now. 60% for the game. Pretty much everyone out there has been stroking it. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. Ball's knocked loose. Rose gets the bucket. Rose has got 4 points in the quarter.
As hot as he's been, it still has to be him who leads the charge and helps turn this game around.
And now the Pistons fast break. Rose with the ball. Jackson kicks to Plumlee. Jackson deciding where to go with it. Plumlee in the post. He's covered by Ayton. Plumlee, no luck. Over in the corner, Paul. Plumlee against Ayton. And Ayton throws it down.
Yeah, just proving how fast he can heat up. Once Ayton finds that rhythm, he is going to work.
And so it's Crowder with it. He'll bring it up for the Suns. Paul right side. And the Suns tack on 2 more.
That medium range area, that was Paul's bread and butter when he entered into the league. I mean, then he added range to that.
Okafor, the pass to Rose. Outside Jackson. Back to Rose. Here's Grant. Detroit, no good that time either. Suns leading by 15. And the wide open shot from Crowder. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Boy, your alma mater, UNLV, Greg, has produced some great NBA players over the years. I mean, so many great names.
No doubt about it. Listen, I got a special place in my heart for my former teammates Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon.
Right.
But also guys like Sean Marion. You go back to Reggie Diaz, who was a tremendous player. And right now in the league, you got Kim Birch, dunk champ Derrick Jones, and an up-and-comer in Christian Wood.
Good mention.
Yeah, and Derrick Rose, Kevin, with a new beginning after knee injuries derailed his career. He said, look, if load management had been around back then, he might still be a Chicago Bull.
A different look here for Detroit. Griffin's checked in for Okafor. Hayes comes in for Josh Jackson. And it's DeLon Wright in for Rose. Phoenix also making some changes. Mikal Bridges comes in for Johnson. And it's Booker in for Langston Galloway. Booker, that's all good, and that's his 5th basket of the game. He's shooting 5 for 11 now.
And Derrick Rose, the youngest ever MVP in 2011. And it was the subsequent year that he sustained that first knee injury.
If you think back, he was playing over 40 minutes a night on a regular basis, and their team had 2-hour practices, tough ones, on off days. And so how can you keep up that type of demand on your body? Teams now tend to be more cautious with the burden they put on players.
Paul passes to Crowder. Back to Paul. And it's good for 2.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Pistons trail by 20. Griffin's shot is off. And it's the Suns' ball. They're on a 13-4 run right now. Here's Paul on the mark with the 15-footer.
Timeout.
Paul's got 10 points here in the second half.
His jump shot has always been pretty lethal. I mean, great effort on D there, but Paul still gets it away clean.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. A year about the extinction of great NBA big men. Do you see it that way? And if so, Greg, is the game that has changed, or perhaps a dip in the talent at that position that has changed?
You know, you think back to the likes of Russell, Wilt, Kareem, and Hakeem, and Robinson, and Shaq. Some would say, well, we just got lucky. But in a lot of ways, we still have the dominance of the big man. They just play more outside of the paint, right? You know, Giannis.
Yep.
You look at what he can do. Anthony Davis and the way he plays the game. I mean, LeBron, in essence, is a big man. I mean, you still can dominate the game as a big. It's just that you now can actually, in some respects, have more impact because you're involved in more facets of the game.
Now, the aggression that Griffin plays with, I mean, that's what sets him apart, whether he's attacking the basket or getting after it on the offensive glass like he does right here.
Here's Paul. They get it again. The shot, no good. Pistons trail by 20.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Phoenix.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for DeAndre Ayton.
Well, he showed what it takes to be a great rebounder tonight. Fighting for position, boxing out, never getting outworked down low.
Phoenix has gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Fade away, and Crowder with the basket on the assist from Payne. And the Suns lead by 19. And the Pistons with possession here. Here's Griffin. Connects from three-point range.
Time and execution. I mean, that's outstanding initiative from Griffin on these catch-and-shoot jumpers.
Now here's Payne. Not a lot of room. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, I love how they play for one another out there. No signs of selfishness. They're just a total team effort.
So it's the Suns winning easily here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Chris, what does a win like this do for you at this time of the season?
Hopefully it gives us a little momentum. We got a tough stretch coming up. We got our back-to-back next week, so hopefully it just gives us a little momentum.
We'll see if you can keep it going again. Thanks, Chris. Back to you, Kevin.